everybody, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the official ending of July / beginning of August 2014. July has been really weird weather-wise, not comic book-wise. Well, maybe a little weird, but still in a good way. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm here to review some books. Before I do that, I'm gonna plug this for all I can. Arkham Asylum Studio, Jennifer and I are doing a lot more videos for her. We did some snack time videos. We reviewed that kinetic sand that's blown up all over the internet, primarily on YouTube. You know, you've seen it on Lucky Penny Shop, and now you're gonna see it on our channel. We look at kinetic sand, we play with it, we look at it, we see how awesome it is. It's an awesome thing. Go check that video out. Go to Arkham Asylum Studio. Go check out the videos there. Subscribe, enjoy, like us, comment, share us. Do whatever you can. Just go to Arkham Asylum Studio and just watch us have fun with just the most random stuff available. We look at cheap toys from Dollar Tree. We look at weird snack foods. I mean, we did some Doritos, some weird Doritos chips. We did some Lay's chips. We reminisced about fruit stripe gum, for God's sakes, and then we looked at kinetic sand. I mean, we've been going all out with these videos, and we've been having fun with it. So have fun with us and go check out that channel, please. Link will be in the description below. I'm gonna plug this channel as much as I possibly can. Yeah, I'm a shill for Arkham Asylum Studio. Go ahead and say it. But for here, got a stack of books here to talk about. We got a couple Marvels, we got an indie, and we got a lot of DC. So we're going to start with Marvel first. We're going to start with Guardians of the Galaxy number 17. I got to keep checking the numbers because you never know when Marvel's going to renumber it back to number 1 again. Brian Michael Bendis and Nick Bradshaw and Oming. I can't pronounce. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. There's 2 different artists on this title, and it's really easy to pick that up. I'm a much bigger fan of Nick Bradshaw's artwork than I was of the other artists' artwork, but both artists, there are, of course Nick Bradshaw's art works, but the other one worked good enough for me to continue on, to keep me captured in the story with how the story is written and everything. What this issue basically does is reunites the group back together, piece by piece, little by little. Star-Lord is still on the run from King Jason. His dad, it's like his dad has been exposed to all his people for just how much of a bastard he truly is and everything. And he just, King Jason here has a moment in this issue where I just look at him as J. Jonah Jameson with a full beard. He's like, after all I did for these people, this is how they're grateful. And I'm like, my God, did you take ungratefulness lessons from J. Jonah? I just couldn't help but think that when I saw that moment with him. And seeing Star-Lord and Captain Marvel, Carol, seeing those two click really well. There's kind of like, they're definitely, they're backed up against the wall, but they still have enough time to trade one-liners with each other. I love what I loved what was going on when Rocket came back on. It is like that was some good stuff. The stuff with Drax and Gladiator, that was intense. I'm gonna say it right here, right now, Marvel. I am loving the team pairing of Gamora and Angela. I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing 2 hot killer chicks working side by side. Give me more of Gamora, Angela. Give me more. Hell, give me like a 3-issue or a 5-issue miniseries of just nothing but Gamora, Angela kicking and killing ass. Just give me that. I'll read it. I don't know why. I can't fully explain why I'm loving it, but it's just seeing them work together. It just fucking works for me. I love it. When Rocket comes back on, Drax is questioning him. He's like, and Rocket, he's Rocket, and Drax like, yeah, he's fine. And, oh man, poor Groot. That's all I'm going to say is poor Groot. But they realize that there's one missing. Venom. They got to find Venom. Now, I'm not entirely sure I was feeling the cliffhanger slash ending of this issue. It's we're gonna start tying into Original Sin in the next issue, and oh boy, I can't wait for that. A solid read, fun. It's good to see the Guardians get back together and doing what and acting the way they should, getting along with each other the way they do, and working together the way they do. I'm loving that the team is back together. It's time to kick some ass, but unfortunately we're going into Original Sin next issue, and oh, I'm just really excited for that. This was a good issue. Kind of a weak ending. I give it a 3.5. If you're a die-hard, hardcore X-Men fan, odds are you might not like what I'm about to do. Uncanny X-Men number 24, tie into Original Sin. Look, first thing I want to say about Original Sin. For those of you who keep asking me, are you going to read Original Sin and give your thoughts on it? No, I'm not going to. I'm not even going to waste my time reading the damn shit because I don't care. I don't care anymore. Marvel has burnt me out on big event stories that aren't really going to matter or have any big consequence later on down the line, because I mean, look at Civil War. That was 7 fucking years ago. All the superheroes were at each other's throats on whether they should remain anonymous with their secret identities or expose their identities to the world and everything, and caused a big rift in the superhero community. And some of the superheroes that were at each other's throats are all of a sudden buddy again. See Captain America and Iron Man. I mean, Captain America died in that shit, and then we got Bucky Cap, which I thought was a good move to make. The progression from sidekick to hero, all of a sudden to get demoted back to semi-sidekick who works in the shadows, just so we can have Steve Rogers shoved down our throats and up our ass as Captain America again. And I realized that Falcon is now Captain America, which I do support. I think that's a good move, but I know Marvel too well. Odds are what they're going to do with Falcon is find some bullshit excuse to get him out of the suit and put Steve Rogers right back in it. I know Marvel too well. But I'm getting burnt out on these big event stories that really don't go anywhere, and and any tragedies or bad stuff that happens from event comics, from event stories, they get retconned, and now all of a sudden everything's just A-okay again. See Fear Itself. See Civil War. See AVX. See Secret Invasion. Something in those stories happens where, oh, everything's alright again. And that leads us to this. Uncanny X-Men 24. First thing I want to say is, this is Dazzler. I hate this fucking look. I don't like this. This looks like trash. I mean, this looks like shit that was plucked out of the 90s and shoehorned into it. Marvel, it's bad enough that DC's trying to sneak some of the shit from the 90s into modern day comic books. Don't you go down that fucking route too. This is fucking crap. I hate this look. This does not look like Dazzler to me. This looks like a fangirl who's into goth cosplaying as a battle-damaged Dazzler. This looks like shit. That's just my honest opinion. If you like this look, that's fine. But me personally, I fucking hate this. This is terrible. This is fucking 90s to me. And to me, that was the worst time to be a comic book fan, was in the fucking 90s. I hated that era. There were some good moments in the 90s. I'll grant you that. But there were much, much more bad things in the 90s with comic books. That was the worst time to be a comic book fan. And then I see this. Fuck you, Marvel, for that. Then we get to the story in this issue. A new mutant has risen. Probably happened during the Original Sin main story, which I don't fucking care. He has an impressive looking power for what I see of him. Then we get to be reminded on just how much of a fucking idiot Maria Hill is as a commander of S.H.I.E.L.D. yeah, let's try to keep the guy calm. She tells this guy, stay calm. I need you to calm down. Everything's going to be okay. I'm not here to hurt you. I want to help you. And it looks like she might be getting through to him, and then she goes, move in. And a bunch of guys, a bunch of agents with guns start running towards this guy. How the fuck do you expect him to react? His powers, he has an emotional outburst. His powers go off again. All these agents get killed, and Maria's just like, ugh. And I'm looking at this moment in this book, and I'm like, you fucking idiot. You're going to tell a guy who's got explosive and deadly powers to calm down. You try your best to get through to him, and then you send in a bunch of agents with fucking guns after him? What fucking sense does that make? Then we get to the ending of the book. Dick Summers is called over to the mansion. Beast reveals that he knows where Scott Summers and his team of X-Men are hiding out in the old Weapon X facility. They get Dick Summers out of bed. They bring him over to Westchester at the Jean Grey School to go over Charles Xavier's last will and testament. And everybody over there at the Jean Grey School just hates Dick Summers' guts because, oh, that's right, he killed Charles Xavier. Yet Scott's still trying to justify it by making excuses, saying, "Oh, the Phoenix overpowered me, had total control over me. Oh, but now I'm trying to set up a revolution for our kind." I'm like, "You're fucking Magneto. Just admit it, you son of a bitch. You are fucking Magneto." And then the ending of the issue, we see a hologram of Charles Xavier, and he reveals a big secret to the X-Men. And I'm looking at this. I'm not gonna spoil it. But what I will say is, are you fucking serious? What Charles Xavier's hologram in this will reveals to the X-Men that are there just made me facepalm. I'm like, are you fucking serious? It kind of makes me wonder and kind of worry about the future of the Jean Grey School, about the school's ownership. Who owns the school? And there's a big hint as to who might end up owning the school, and I'm like, don't you fucking do it, Marvel. Don't you fucking do it. I know it's coming. Oh my god, this ending pissed me off. This whole book pissed me off. Bendis, you can do better than this. This is easily, I'm speaking directly to you, Bendis, this is easily the worst issue of Uncanny X-Men that you have done so far. This is easily the worst one. Everything about, well, not everything about it, but most of the stuff in this book just had me just scratching my head going, what the fuck is going on? This was crap. Pure crap. I give it a 1. Moving on to Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, number 87 from Broadsword Comics. Look, y'all know what. Y'all know I like to have fun every once in a while with my comics, and this is a series I've been reading since issue 1. When I don't have every issue, but I have read every issue so far. This is just fun. This particular issue, not every issue's been great. There have been some stinkers. Probably the worst one was when they shoehorned Barack Obama into the series. That was probably when Tarot was at its absolute worst. Was trying to be a shill to the fucking government. But then we get here. This is called 1 Billion BC Boo Cat. This issue was deliberately silly. Not that this series is meant to be taken 100% serious anyway, but this was done deliberately 100% silly. You know, Skeleton Man has a dream that him, Tarot's girlfriend Boo Cat, and her sister Raven Hex, they're in the prehistoric age. And Skeleton Man wants to be the man who invented fire. And there's like this running gag of Boo Cat constantly pulling Skeleton Man's pants down, wanting to play with him, you know. Of course, we got gratuitous nudity, you know, big naked booby shoved in our face, and that's always fun. But this was meant to be 100% silly, to be laughed at in a good way. I mean, it was fun. I mean, it was an average issue. There's no real storytelling here. There's no real consequence. There's no real character development in here. But for what I got, I was entertained. It was fun. I had a good laugh. I enjoyed it for what it was. I gave it a 3. We're moving on to DC with Aquaman Annual number 2. Aquaman and Wonder Woman against the Giantborn. This is actually a two separate story issue. The first one is Arthur and Diana dealing with the Giantborn in some country. I don't remember the name, nor can I pronounce it right now. But they're dealing with all these giant monsters that came out of that portal where Aquaman went toe-to-toe with Hercules. You know, but Hercules was driven mentally insane by being trapped in that realm for so long. Diana just seems kind of heartbroken that she had learned her half-brother Hercules was in fact driven mentally mad with rage after being trapped in there for so long. There's moments in there where her facial expressions tells the whole story that she's just really down, that she doesn't really get to know her brother. But in here, the way they deal with all the giants in here, the way Arthur and Diana work, they work really well together. Very nicely, very well. There was a moment in here where you would think that they probably might not have won the day, but somebody comes in with something to help them win the fight against these monsters, and I thought it was really, really well wrapped up and properly executed to conclude this particular storyline concerning Arthur and Diana. The second story is a team up between Diana and Mera, and oh my God, Mera! Every time I see her, I love her even more. I love Mera as a character. She is definitely on my top 10 list of female comic book characters right now, Mera. And the way she's drawn in here when she's working alongside with Diana, she just looks, the way she's drawn, I give the credit all to the artist, but she is drawn and look incredibly sexy in here. You don't need to draw a female character in a scantily clad bikini to be sexy. I mean, Mera is basically in a full bodysuit green Atlantean armor, and she looks sexy. I just love Mera so much. And her powers are beautifully displayed in her story with Diana. Her and Mera and Wonder Woman go tangle with another batch of the Giantborn monsters who didn't have the same powerful benefits that the monsters that Arthur and Diana dealt with. They are a little bit lower on the food chain, but I loved how they dealt with them, and it got to the point where it physically exhausted Mera, and I just loved the last page. It just made me think that I need to see these two ladies team up more often. I really liked this. This was well worth $5 to me. It wasn't perfect, but for what I got, I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, Arthur and Diana worked well together, but I personally liked Diana and Mera a little bit better. I would like to see more team-ups between the two women, rather than Diana and Arthur. This was really good. A solid read. I give it a 4. Moving on to Detective Comics Annual number 3. Wow. This is kind of like... a prequel-ish kind of issue to the Icarus storyline that's going on in Detective Comics, because we see some characters in here that unfortunately are dead now in Detective Comics. The one I will spoil is Elena Aguila. She's already been well established as dead in this storyline, so this is like the beginning before the beginning of this storyline. I mean, this is like a prequel, if you will. And there's a reason why we have this cover like this. I mean, this is probably like this is the 75th anniversary variant, I believe, because they're the 75th thing here. I don't know if this is the variant or the regular cover or not. I just picked it up. And bought it. That's all I looked at. So I don't know if this is the regular or variant, but there's a reason for this cover. We get to see This is the first time I've seen him. Julian Day, aka Calendar Man, in the New 52. And I'm going to tell you right now, I prefer this version, this incarnation of Calendar Man so far, much better than the Calendar Man of the old days, and 100 times better than the Calendar Man of that insanely stupid Channel 52 shtick that continues to be in the end of every comic book that DC does. I don't care about that stupid Channel 52 shtick with Calendar Man and Ambush Bug and everything like that. That shit's just not fucking funny anymore. But in here, I mean, it's just so much drama and so much darkness to this storytelling and concerning Icarus. My biggest nitpick is that there's no sign of Harvey Bullock in here. And Harvey Bullock has been one of the biggest factors, one of the biggest characters to have, you know, personal stake in this storyline, and there's not a single sight of him, and that really hurts the book in my opinion, because this Icarus thing, this whole Icarus case is very, very personal to Bullock, and we don't see him even once in here, and that immediately hurts it. It hurts the effect of the storytelling for me. But for what I get in here, I could say it was a decent read. Was this worth $5? In my opinion, no. I think this would have been fine as a $3.99 book, but not a $4.99. But it is an annual, so of course DC's going to charge $5 for an annual. I just kind of felt a little underwhelmed by this. I was like, yeah, there were parts of it that was good. There were parts of it that was really good, like the stuff with Calendar Man and Matches Malone. That was some pretty good stuff, and Calendar Man's son has a pretty big role in this issue too. That was alright. I mean, the book wasn't awful. I just don't think this was worth $5 because there's so many things missing out of the storyline. Like, the biggest thing that's missing is Harvey Bullock. But for what it was alright. It was alright for what it was. I'll be nice and give it a 3. I'm being nice on this one because I was expecting a lot more than this, and I just kind of felt, after I read this book, I kind of regretted spending $5 on this because I was wanting so much more in terms of actual storytelling and actually storyline progression. But then I realized, okay, yeah, this shit's a fucking prequel, so I'm not going to get too much in actual storyline progression. But for what I got, I was like, it was alright. But I'll be nice and give it a 3. If I was to be completely brutally honest, I would give it a lower score. But they tried. This is how I feel. I feel like they tried. Next up, Harley Quinn, number 8. This was good. This was good. This probably wasn't the strongest issue of the series, but I mean, look at what this series is. This is a silly series. It's silly. It's done silly on purpose. So many gags, so many, you know, inside jokes and one-liners that just makes you go, you know, just stuff like that. You know, I loved everything about this. You know, Harley is at a pawn shop trying to make some quick cash off of something she stole, and then a couple of punks come in. She gets thrown for a loop a little bit. You know, it's like, so one of them tries to soft soap his way out of a beating, and I loved that. Harley falls for it at first, but the guy she's with, he's like, don't fall for that shit. He's lying. And there's something she does in there. I'm not going to ruin it. She's having some problems with her roller derby buddies, and I'm not going to ruin anything else about that. But there's something that she does at her apartment building that just blew me away. I just laughed my ass off at this. And what I got to say about the ending, I got to thank DC. Yeah, thank them. I'll never be able to look at Ketchup the right way ever again. This was hilarious. This was fun. It was silly. It was stupid, but stupid in a great way. I rolled at the inside joke and the inside jab at the New 52. That was hilarious. This was fun. I enjoyed it. Just fantastic. I give it a fucking 4. Holy 4 holy. Alright, we're going to end this with Red Lantern's Annual number 1. Jesus Christ. Jennifer told me this book was good. Her dad told me this book was good. And now that I've read it, I say this. Baby, you were right. This was good. This was damn good. Oh my God. I know I've stopped doing the whole pick of the week thing because sometimes I'm not able to get all the books I want to get. So I kind of felt like it was unfair to have a pick of the week when there are other books I wanted to get for that week that may have been better than what my pick of the week would be. But if I were still doing the pick of the week stuff, you know what? Wait a minute. Let me stop right there and let me throw this question out to you, to all you viewers out there. Do you think I should go back to having picks of the week? Because that used to be one thing that a lot of viewers used to that would tell me. It's like, I'm really I would get some messages, personal messages from people who would say, I'm really anxious to see what your pick of the week was. My pick of the week was this, but I saw your pick of the week was this. I read your pick of the week. I thought it was really good. It wasn't as good as my pick, but I appreciate your pick. You know, I used to get a lot of messages like that. Not so much anymore. But do you really think I should go back to having picks of the week? Even though a pick of the week may be looking a little more biased than it used to, considering the fact that I'm not able to get all the books I want to get sometimes. So I kind of feel like picks of the week may be a little bit unfair toward other titles. But I'll say this right now. If I was still doing the pick of the week shtick, whether I go back to doing it or not, I don't know. But if I was still doing it now, this would be my pick right here. Red Lantern's Annual 1. This was incredible. This did almost everything right. This was the way to showcase Atrocitus as a hardcore badass villain. This is the way you need to do it. If somebody came to me and said, hey, we need to showcase Atrocitus. We need to build him up as this monstrous villain that's going to be easy to hate, and we need him to get heat and have him be easy to hate and have the readers want Guy Gardner to kick his ass at the conclusion of this story, I'd say just look at this, because this was done the right way in my opinion, because Atrocitus and his new team of Red Lanterns do some really destructive shit that rivals the stuff the dark side. Yeah, I said that. He does some really destructive shit in here that makes me think this guy could probably go toe-to-toe with fucking Darkseid if you wanted to see a villain versus villain fight, which I don't think anybody really would. But this was incredible. I mean, the twist with Rancor in here, it's like, what they did with Rancor in here, I thought they were going to one direction. I was like, going to be like, you son of a bitch. But then they did another swerve with him, and I'm like, okay. I take back what I may have to take back what I just said. You know, it's just swerves, curveballs, incredible character building moments leading up. We're still not yet at this is my only nitpick. We're still not at that point where Guy Gardner and Atrocitus finally go head to head. But when it happens, I'm ready for it. Because the ending of the book just made me go, Jesus! Just fucking incredible. Just really, really good. Wow. Just simply wow. Easily worth $5. I was so happy. This was a well-spent $5 to me. Just fucking incredible. One of the strongest issues of Red Lanterns that has ever come out of this series. This was incredible. Not perfect, but just wow. Just simply wow. Oh man, I don't know what else to say. Just, if you're a Red Lanterns fan, or if you're interested in getting on board with Red Lanterns, I'd say start at this particular storyline. Get the back issues that lead up to this, and then get this and see the shit Atrocitus does. See the stuff that Guy Gardner does to try and, wage a good defense against Atrocitus. But then look at the last page of this book, and then when you read it, you need to realize that guy may be in over his head, and he's in deep shit. This was great. 4.5. This was awesome. Alright, that's all I got for this week, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching me geek out, rant, gush, having nerdgasms, if you want to call them that. Once again, I'm going to plug it again. Arkham Asylum Studio. Go check it out. The link's in the description. Please subscribe to that channel. Don't forget my Blugoblin X channel. I did my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Q&A video. Go check that video out. I had fun answering your questions. I'll let you know when I'm going to do another Q&A. And the next Q&A I'm going to do, I'm probably going to do it here on this channel instead of my Blugoblin X channel. Because there's other things for my Blugoblin X channel that I'm planning on doing, but I'm not too sure yet. Don't forget my bro, TheMtVernonKid, Deadpoolzilla, and Brandon Hex. Don't forget my old friends. Follow me on Twitter at Blugoblin01, or you can look me up on Tumblr, blugoblin.tumblr.com. Thanks for watching, everybody, and until next time, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye!